Sometimes you just have to wake up, roll out of bed, and film a video in yesterday's makeup because that's the only time in the day that you have good lighting. Hello Internet! If you follow me on the social medias, you know that a few weeks ago I went to Dragon Con. It was my first time and it was a lot of fun. Also, if you've been subscribed to the channel for a little while, a bit back I talked about becoming a cosplayer officially instead of someone who costumes up as often as possible. I don't know. But to bridge those topics together, I took like 5 costumes, I think, to Dragon Con for a 4-day convention. As you can see by the title, I want to talk about my poor man's Hawkeye costume, and Femme Hawkeye. I was doing Clint Barton, not Kate Bishop. I was asked that, and I was like, do I look like I have brown hair? No, I was not wearing a wig. Anyways, I feel that the trick to doing any poor man's costume is taking a closet cosplay and upgrading it. As far as the basics of this costume goes, I already had them all in my closet. So when I talk about the cost of this cosplay, I'm taking into account that I had stuff in my closet and then I had other things in my craft stash. Anytime you start crafting, you're gonna have to put a lot of money into it up front, but if you have a craft stash going like I do, not as expensive if you use what you already have creatively. So my most expensive article of clothing I already had were these boots. They were $10 at Walmart. For simplicity's sake, I used black jeans that were just in my closet. And then I also used a black tank top, which this was $3 to replace the tank top that I modified because you're going to destroy the tank top. And by destroyed, I mean I upgraded it into awesome. And we'll get started with the modifications you need to upgrade your sunglasses. As you can see in this picture, they started out as silver, and then I used purple nail polish. The nail polish I used was like $8, which probably wasn't smart of me, but I already had it. But you could probably get away with $2 or $3 drugstore nail polish. This is my top upgraded. The color is a little bit weird in this, and it is totally wrinkled, but this is purple puff paint. And I did not film my progress, but as you can see in this picture, I put the tank top on a body form. And before I did that, I wrapped the body form in protective plastic so that I didn't get any paint on it because the body form is borrowed from a friend. I do not own it, so I didn't want to ruin it with paint. I also used Blue's painter's tape to tape out the outline of the Hawkeye shape that I wanted to use, and then used a brush to brush the puff paint into the section that I had marked off. The puff paint was around $4, the blue painter's tape about $3.50 for the sponge brush at any craft store. For the record, most of what I bought was at Walmart, so if you have any moral ambiguities about shopping at Walmart, you should kind of throw them by the wayside if you're gonna do a cheap cosplay. Also Goodwill, or the cheap bins at the hobby store. Moving on to the bow. This is a $3 bow toy thing from Amazon. I got it when I dressed up as Katniss, and so this is a reused prop. What I did to take this from plastic to awesome was I bought like $3 or $4 in remnants pleather from the hobby store, and the remnants bin is awesome for saving money, especially when you don't need a lot of it like this. The string was cotton and white, so I took silver nail polish and painted the outside, and this was a $1 nail polish. It soaks in. The hardness of the nail polish makes it look more like wire. For my arrows, I bought 99-cent dowels from Walmart, black paint, which is about 50 cents, and then the little feathery things are actually duct tape double layered to each other and then cut in that spot, and the duct tape was like $3. I glued them down to the top with E360, I believe is what it's called. Now this is also where poor man's cosplay comes in, because this quiver is actually the tripod stand from when I bought the tripod that we're using right now to film this video. But I just took that same duct tape to cover up the Vivitar logo, as well as like the shipping processing thing on both sides, and I just kind of made it visually interesting. Inside is about $2 or $3 worth of florist foam, not styrofoam. The green, really awful to work with florist foam, it is cheaper. Since the florist foam gets all that granular green stuff on you, I wrapped the base in the duct tape to make sure that I could slide it in and out without getting that green stuff everywhere and on my costume or other people's costume. And then I made holes in the top where these can slide into and be kind of secure, but then I reinforced the holes with duct tape around it again so that green stuff doesn't fly out. I was thinking about another cheap way to do it, which would be like get a Pringles can or something very much like that. Pringles are $1. You just want to make sure you wipe out all the extra food stuff. You can either paint the outside black or wrap it all in duct tape. Still get the foam so you can have something to secure your arrows. Now, unfortunately, all of my specialty arrows broke during my adventures at Dragon Con, but here is a picture of the end of one of them, and that is actually buttons, hot glue, E360, and clay, as well as colored nail polish to give it some spectacular pizzazz. I'm hoping I'm putting a picture right here of the end caps that I made, which are made out of clay, buttons, puff paint, hot glue, and nail polish. And buttons are something I already had, but you can use clay completely. For my trick arrows, I use this air dry clay, which comes in about a $7 tub. And I bought this for a different cosplay and just got to use some of the extra for this cosplay. But you can also buy little bake clay slabs for about $1 from Walmart as well, about that big. If you're only making a few trick arrow tips and leaving the rest in your quiver and just having one or two to bring out for a picture, just take a little bit of extra time sculpting the pieces, putting them together in some fancy manner, and securing them to your arrow. And then for the detailing on my hands for an archer's protective things and stuff, you can kind of see them in these pictures with my cosplay all put together, is actually just electrical tape taped to my body the day of. I ran out of that tape, so I can't show it to you, but it's about $3 as well. I think that's all the pieces of my Poorman's Femme Hawkeye cosplay. I was a part of a Hawkeye group, which those pictures are super fun. It's why I wanted to do it so bad, because it was a great group to be a part of. Remember to like this video if you liked it. You can also favorite it if it inspired you and you want to come back later to check out the breakdown of the supply, or you can share it to anyone who is maybe beginning their cosplay adventures. I do these for me and for the few people who care, and that is all that matters, right? Right. Speaking of other content I'm involved with, I did a how-to con video on the NashvilleGeekLife channel, which I really liked, as well as I make videos for Project Nerdy every other Sunday. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments if you have anything else to say about Poorman's cosplay, or really about cosplay and conventions, or any of that stuff, because I like that stuff, and I'd love to talk to you about it. Until then, don't forget to be awesome, and